Hi everyone, this is Willie from the Viper staking team, bringing you our delegation analysis for epochs 218 and 219. Stake snapshots occur at the beginning of the previous epoch. The stake snapshot for epoch 218 occurred 5 days ago on September 12th. This means the reward you earn this epoch will be based on the ADA you staked prior to the snapshot. The total staked ADA increased by 0.7% since the last epoch, up to 47.2%. For the first time, the number of active stake pools decreased since last epoch. We're down 11 pools to 1151 total. In order for a pool to expect to make at least one block this epoch, a pool must have at least 2.17 million ADA staked. This leaves 69% of pools below this threshold. There is a decrease in the number of pools falling into the zero slot category this epoch. We have 51 less pools in this bin than last epoch. There are two network parameters that affect how many blocks a pool can expect to make. The K parameter, which is currently set to 150, dictates the level at which a pool saturates. Since saturated pools receive reduced rewards, it is never in your best interest to delegate to a saturated pool. K equals 150 means that if all available ADA were delegated across 150 pools, they would all be exactly at the saturation level. Note that this does not mean that the network is only designed to support 150 pools. The D parameter, or the centralization factor, dictates how centralized the network is. That is, what percentage of the 21,600 blocks are created by the Byron-era Genesis pools. These pools do not allow delegators, nor do they collect any rewards for producing blocks. As the D parameter decreases, decentralized stake pools will produce a larger proportion of the total blocks. The D parameter is currently 0.68, which means that stake pools produce 32% of the total blocks, which is about 6,900 blocks per epoch. The D parameter currently decreases by 2% per epoch. On this plot, we omitted the 799 pools that fall into the zero slot bin in order to get a better view of the distribution of the remaining pools. The vast majority of pools fall into the 0 to 10 slot bins. I want to emphasize again that just because a pool has less than 2.17 million in active stake does not mean that they will not make any blocks this epoch. Nor does it mean that pools with more than 2.17 million staked are guaranteed to make a block. It only means that over time, a pool with 2.17 million ADA would average one block per epoch. As the D parameter decreases, many more pools will make it out of the zero slot bin. This plot shows the relationship between return on stake and the total stake in each pool. I explained this chart last epoch, but I'd like to briefly go over it again because we're still seeing a lot of misconceptions about these kinds of charts. ROS is the percentage return you can expect to get on your staked ADA over 1 year. When calculated over a short period of time, the ROS value can vary wildly based on how lucky a pool got during a given epoch. As pools produce more blocks, the variance in this value will average out to the expected value. Notice how some small pools have extremely high ROS values. We've seen a misconception that this means small pools have a higher return than large pools. This is not the case. We're merely seeing a wide variance in how lucky a small pool got in a given epoch. For example, let's consider a pool with 217,000 ADA, 10% of the amount required to expect to make a block every epoch. Over time, this pool can expect to make one block every 10 epochs. If we calculated their ROS over a single epoch in which the pool made a block, we get somewhere around 50% ROS. This is because we're ignoring all the epochs where the ROS would have been 0%. In contrast, we don't see this amount of variation in larger pools, because they make so many blocks per epoch that the luck factor is much smaller. It doesn't make much difference whether they make 45 blocks or 50 blocks in a single epoch. In short, evaluating ROS for a small number of produced blocks is largely meaningless. Given identical performance and fees, you can expect to make essentially the same return whether you stake in a large pool or a small pool. After several months of data, we can expect this graph to flatten out around 4.5 to 5% ROS regardless of pool size, as long as a pool has been around long enough to even out the luck factor over time. Looking ahead to the next epoch, at the time of the epoch 219 stake snapshot today, the total staked ADA increased by 2.1% since the current epoch, up to 49.31%. We're getting very close to reaching the milestone of 50% ADA staked. 15 more pools opened their doors for business this epoch. The total number of active pools increased to 1,166. The minimum stake required in order to expect to make a block decreased slightly to 2.13 million ADA, leaving 71% of pools below this threshold. The number of pools falling into the zero slot bin increased by 33 over last epoch. This chart will eventually begin to flatten out as the D parameter decreases and more pools make it out of the zero slot bin. For more details on this analysis, as well as the data for all past epochs, see the link to our full post in the notes below. Please let us know in the comments if you have any suggestions for our future analysis posts, and make sure to subscribe to get notified when we publish new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.